Welcome back to the Casino Arizona 125. Cars are rolling back onto the racetrack. Before they got going and fired back up again, Bob Dillner worked about as hard as I've seen any pit reporter work as he ran from the back of the grid to the front, and he was able to talk with Greg Pursley. Bob?
Greg Pursley dominated the early part of this race. Just ran down to talk to you, Greg. Alex Bowman slipped by you. What are you going to be able to do to get by him again after this halfway break?
We're just a touch tight there at the end of the run, so we made a little adjustment, a little tire pressure, and go back after again.
Simply stated by the guy that is this year's NASCAR K&N Pro Series West champ.
And all the drivers that were involved in the most recent incident were checked and released from the infield care center. And I believe Bob's going to head to the infield care center now for some oxygen, maybe.
That's a long pit road, and Bob went from one end to the other.
That was a long run. So the field is going to get back in line. They will be back in the same positions they were in when the caution came out and they were able to come onto pit road. So they didn't lose a spot. It doesn't matter where you come off of pit road after this break. They'll give you your spots back. And so as they are doing that, they'll all fall in behind the pace car once again. Alex Bowman and Greg Pursley making up the front two spots. We heard Alex Bowman talking about, the choice of lanes, inside or outside, talking about how he thought Greg Pursley was going to be able to utilize the whole track, and he wasn't sure if he should start on the outside or inside.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit hesitant maybe to start on the outside because he didn't want to get down to turn one and Greg Pursley have to use a little more racetrack. But Alex was so strong on the outside, he was going to leave it up to his crew chief, he said.
They're going to put the cars back in line. We'll go side by side for the restart. We'll take a quick break before that happens. And welcome back to Avondale, Arizona, in the desert here at Phoenix International Raceway. There was a real cactus, and then there's the fake cactus. Completed 66 of the scheduled 125 laps. Now there's just 58 laps to go as they cross the start finish line once again.
Getting ready for a restart here. Alex Bowman has chosen the inside, Rick. Going to leave Pursley to the outside.
Bob Dillner.
Dylan Kwasniewski involved in that big wreck. What happened from your perspective in that accident?
The 21 got into the 61 on the outside, and he was kind of all over the place. I guess it's racing, but I think his spotter should have cleared him. I was significantly on the inside, and he just came down, and fortunately we got together, and can't do anything about it.
Unfortunately, sour grapes here, but I tell you what, this kid is pretty good.
And young.
Yeah, he really wasn't quite up there to Michael Self. He barely had his nose up in there. I'm thinking he'll probably look at that maybe again and look at the video and say, man, I really wasn't there yet. But nonetheless, a bright future for Dylan Kwasniewski.
Door to door, side by side once again. Alex Bowman on the inside, Pursley on the outside. Bowman choosing the inside. How about we're seeing out of the 17 of David Mayhew already some steam blowing up.
Yeah, they've run a number of laps here while everyone got lined up. Hopefully when they get going here and get some air moving through the radiator, through the grill, that'll cool off.
Hopefully he doesn't lose too much water before that happens. Green flag back in the air.
Great start by Alex Bowman. Now Pursley's going to try to drive up on the outside. Not going to be able to do it. Look at all the speed orb down there. Look at Pursley sideways.
Pursley sideways as he went through the speed orb. He gets it checked back up. David Mayhew all the way down 2 lanes inside that dog leg, and he goes by the 76 now, Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, Suarez looked like he may have had a little bit of debris on his tires. Lost that spot back.
So in front, it's Alex Bowman. David Mayhew's moved up to the 2nd spot. Then it's Daniel Suarez, and Greg Pursley has dropped all the way back to 4th.
Great side-by-side battle now for 2nd. Suarez moves to the inside of Mayhew to try to take over that 2nd spot.
Pursley trying to catch his breath now as he still runs in that 4th spot, but has such a strong race car. Looking to get back up front.
Chase Elliott now on the inside of Eric Holmes as they follow the 9 of Derek Thorne.
Just behind him, that 98 of Chad Bowe. Take another look at Pursley. He got up just a little bit high out of that preferred groove.
He did a nice job saving that truck, as well as Suarez avoiding him. Used to calling these Camping World Truck Series races.
So Daniel Suarez avoiding the 26 of Pursley. Here's Chase Elliott on the inside of Eric Holmes. Those two side by side, racing for the 6th position.
Ryan Blaney, the 11 car, follows right behind them. Ryan's moved up a couple spots since the restart. Talked about Trent Owens taking a pretty big swing at it. Now moves to the inside of Chase Elliott as Greg Pursley now cuts the dog leg.
So Pursley takes the spot back from Mayhew.
See, that smoke is still there. That telltale smoke on the 26 car, obviously not affecting the performance of that car.
70 laps, 70 of 125. Only 55 remaining, and Greg Pursley continues to march back up toward the front after losing multiple spots.
Oh, Jason Bowles is going to get that outside wall.
Hard into the outside wall. Bowles goes going into turn number 1 just a bit hard, and that will bring the caution out once again. 6 cautions tonight.
He was a little bit wide. He got in that speed zorb up there. Very little grip up there to start with, and then he got into the slick speed zorb.
So hard damage for the 31. Just 54 laps remaining in this race.
Tough break for Offenbach Racing. Both cars now, the 21 of Michael Self and the 31. Here he is on the outside of Luis Martinez. You see he's way out of the groove right now, then starts getting in that speed zorb, tries to catch it, just couldn't grab a hold of it.
Running in the 16th position, trying to get by that 6 of Martinez Jr.
There's the contact.
Into the wall he goes.
There's another view. See how wide he is right here. He's giving Luis plenty of room. Right now he can't get it back. He gets the right side tires, the right rear tire up in that speed zorb, and around it went.
So a difficult ending for the 31. A lot of damage on the right side of that race car, and we saw the problems that the 26 of Greg Pursley had on the restart. Bob, are they going to fix that situation?
No, a lot of emotion down here on top of the box when he slid high on that speedy dry. Jerry Pitts, the crew chief on top of the box, just shook his head. Couldn't believe what he was seeing. But during this caution period, Greg Pursley has come on the radio and told Jerry, this is all my fault. The car was just a little bit loose like we wanted it to be at the beginning of this run. And I just got loose, got up there in the speedy dry. But don't worry, we're exactly where we need to be. And Jerry Pitts says that 26 is coming back to the front.
Remember, they had just been on pit road, so adjustments were made to these race cars.
There he is right after the restart. Got a little bit wide. Again, same situation. Got his right sides up in the speed zorb and did it. Fortunately for Greg, he was able to maintain control. Just lost a couple positions on the racetrack.
Yeah, and a great heads-up move by Daniel Suarez in the 76, giving him some more room. He saw how Pursley was wiggling around up above him, so he moved down to the bottom of the racetrack. What a gorgeous sight under the lights at Phoenix International Raceway.
Such an exciting race coming up tomorrow. Second, I guess, next to the last race to go in the chase for the Sprint Cup Championship. 3-point lead for Carl Edwards coming in here, and a sold-out grandstands.
Yeah, everyone here at Phoenix International Raceway excited about seeing this point battle go down to the final 2 races. Field all in line once again. They'll go 2 by 2. We get ready for the restart.
Most vulnerable time right now for these guys is on this restart. Alex Bowman had a great restart, and obviously we documented what happened to Greg Pursley on that restart. Starting up on the outside, you want to give the guy on the inside some room, but if you get a car width too high, then you get the right side tires in that speed zorb. Obviously we get enough cars going through there that'll blow that stuff off the racetrack, but right now it's pretty slick up there.
John Woods behind the steering wheel of the 38 right now, and we're hearing that the team might put Travis Milburn in that 38, so that's why we're watching to see if he makes the hard left turn onto pit road, do a driver change.
Getting ready for a restart. Lined up double foul once again. Alex Bowman again chooses the inside, but now he has Daniel Suarez to his outside.
Closing in on the final 50 laps here at Phoenix, side by side. Bowman and Suarez, 1 and 2. Alex Bowman in the gas quick.
Ooh, problems.
And Suarez doesn't come up to speed, and so everyone's scattering.
Somebody made some contact with that left rear corner of Suarez's car. Suarez loses a bunch of positions.
So Daniel Suarez drops way back.
David Mayhew, I think, is the one that made contact with Suarez. A little bit of smoke from his right front fender.
Pursley now up to second. Alex Bowman holding on to the lead.
Getting a confirmation that it was David Mayhew that made contact with Suarez when he was not able to come up to speed. Watch now, the white car on your outside. You see, there's the contact from Mayhew. He does a nice job not hitting him any harder than that.
Trying to avoid, moves all the way down to the inside, and a very heads-up move by Derek Thorne in the 9 to also get out of the way.
A lot of drivers made a nice heads-up move there. That could have been a horrible situation.
Derek Thorne in the 9, a little higher line. David Mayhew in the 17 just behind him.
Hey, that's Ryan Blaney now all the way up to the 5th spot. Restarted this race in the 11th spot. Talk about Trent Owens making some adjustments. That's actually one of Trent Owens' former car. That's a former Braun Racing, which was bought by Turner Motorsports car a couple years ago. And that's what Ryan's driving right now. So Trent's very familiar with that car as Ryan takes over the 4th spot from David Mayhew.
Moving toward the front now. Sets his sights on the 9 of Derek Thorne. Up front, though, Alex Bowman has a mirror full of Greg Pursley.
Still a little bit of smoke out of that 26 car, but I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Oh, big wreck.
Big problems for the 6. That's Luis Martinez Jr. Also involved, the 50 of Dylan Presnell.
Spencer Gallagher, the 23's involved, as well as the 29 car of Brennan Newberry.
So 4 cars.
These cars are hitting the wall.
They're hitting hard because they're going fast. And they're sliding out of control. So the yellow flag is out now, but I would not be surprised if we wouldn't see the red flag here shortly, because and there it comes out. A lot of damage on the racetrack. Ambulance gets to these drivers quickly. Take another look at what happened. Brendan Newberry in the 29 all over the back bumper of that 6.
And just ran into him and turned him into Dylan Presnell. Spencer Gallagher with nowhere to go. Not sure why the contact was initiated there.
This was 13th through 16th. Those 4 cars.
All of them with a lot of damage.
So it's the 7th caution, and the red flag has come out.
This is the previous corner back here in turn number 3 and 4. You see Martinez a little coming off turn number 4. He's right in front of the 29 of Newberry. Newberry just pushes him down into the corner. May have lost track of where he was and causes this 4-car incident.
Yeah, Newberry didn't get in the brakes as quickly as that 6 of Luis Martinez Jr. And so he gets into the back of that race car, and that causes this pileup.
Probably Luis Martinez's last ride in the King Taco Sunrise Ford car for Bruncati Motorsports.
See Spencer Gallagher climbing out of the 23. And the driver and crew chief of the 29 have been summoned to the NASCAR hauler at the conclusion of this race. I'm sure to talk about what you were thinking going into turn 1.